Obviously, I'm doing this because my account just got suspended on YouTube, and I shared with you guys exactly how it happened. This harassment campaign is brought to you by Awesome Jews. That's literally the name of the account that orchestrated this harassment campaign and put a step-by-step guide. I knew that we had arrived at the final point because they had gone so vicious in trying to take my job, trying to assassinate my character. What they're saying is we believe in financial terrorism as a strategy, and that's what this is. Make no mistake, it's financial terrorism as a strategy.
What's going on, guys? So we got some unfortunate news, okay? Candace Owens has been yeeted, okay, removed from YouTube. It looks like they're trying to take her down for good, okay? So she hasn't been completely suspended from YouTube, but she's had a strike placed on her channel. She's been fully demonetized, and she's had multiple videos removed that she could have got strikes for all of them. But I think the way YouTube works now is they don't give you strikes all at once. So you can still find her channel on YouTube and watch some of the videos, but she's not going to be able to make any money off of them. And some of the videos, any of the videos that she's had that criticize basically Jewish people at all, or that are considered conspiratorial, you already know how that goes, have also been removed. And she has to be extremely careful going forward with anything that YouTube might consider to be conspiratorial, even in some cases things that are proven to be true, such as Jewish control over the media. They try to say that that's conspiratorial and therefore remove videos for that, but I don't think that that's conspiratorial at all. As a matter of fact, look at what happened to her. I think that the fact that she said some things that a lot of Jewish folks don't like, and all of a sudden she's being totally deplatformed from the biggest video platform that exists today, I think that that clearly means something. I think that that is evidence of what Candace Owens is saying. So real quick here, I want to get into her X account. Okay, so be sure to follow Candace Owens because she does have obviously an X account. She posts videos there. She has a Rumble account. She posts videos there. I actually have the Rumble up here. So yeah, she has a bunch of her videos on there as well. So for anybody, I saw a bunch of people asking about her Rumble. I'm like, yeah, of course she does Rumble. Like she already knew that this was a possibility, guys. So she was gonna be on the chopping block no matter what. I'm surprised that it kind of took them this long, and I'm a little not, I don't want to say upset, but kind of pissed off that this is happening because unfortunately I feel like a lot of these like hardcore, like the crazy Jewish folks are really kind of making an enemy out of a lot of people. And I guess I don't really understand why. Like, you know, there's a lot of complaints about black sensitivity and black people tripping about every little thing, including facts. But then when you take the same logic and pull the Uno reverse with these folks that are hardcore Zionists, hardcore Jewish, where they don't want you to say anything critical or negative or to them anti-Semitic, sounding like some anti-Semitic rhetoric, then they just lose their mind. It makes no sense and it's extremely hypocritical. But let me go ahead and look and show you guys what her X account says. Okay, it says there will be no show today or at all this week. That's because YouTube has issued me a strike and a 1-week suspension for my sit down with Kanye. They removed the interview as hate speech as it was mass reported by Zionists. These tactics never change. So this interview, guys, I mean, Kanye West has plenty of content already on, a lot of people interviewed Kanye around that time. So why was that not taken down? I mean, maybe some of it was, but I highly doubt it. And let's see what it says. This is a screenshot here from YouTube. It says, additionally, the video, Kanye West x Candace Owens has been removed, blah, 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 because it violates hate speech policies. Imagine being critical of a group and because you're critical of them is considered hate speech. I feel like hate speech is like, we hate this group. This group shouldn't exist. Like that to me is hate speech. Now, if you say this group has people in it that do evil things, that's not hate speech. That's factual about all groups. Some groups are going to be more powerful than other groups. But anyway, YouTube does not allow content containing conspiratorial claims that individuals or groups are evil, corrupt, or malicious based on their protected group status. Well, again, I mean, for anybody who follows Candace Owens, she doesn't say that the group is evil. Like, there's plenty of obviously like non evil, corrupt, or malicious people that are Jewish, but she's saying that the people that are on top in a lot of power and control, she believes that they are evil. And I feel like that's a fair thing to say. Like, you're not saying that the whole group is. I think that that's, obviously, I don't know, maybe they got a bunch of Jewish people over at Google. I'm pretty sure that they're not pretty religious over there at all, but that's just my opinion, based off of things that I've heard from some of the folks at the top before. Um, Thus far, I have 0 strikes on my YouTube creators account. I have now been inundated with 3 back-to-back content hits within minutes, plus an email that I am now fully demonetized. Okay, we know exactly who is behind this. So your content's been removed literally within the same. It's like within 2 minutes. She's talking about within minutes. Yes, 2 minutes. 1:49 p.m. and 1:50 p.m. Okay, YouTube went ham on her. I'm not gonna read like this whole thing, but yeah, it says the channel can be reevaluated for the YouTube Partner Program after 90 days. When you see the option to reapply. Wow. So minimum 90-day suspension. These guys, that's pretty severe, guys. There's a video here. I'm gonna play this video from Candace in a moment. She reposted something that somebody says, presumably a Jewish person, a mean one at that. We are few in number in this world, but we have important positions in the globe hierarchy. So he did. I guess he meant to put global, but in the globe hierarchy, don't mess with the Jews, bitch. Okay, that's what he says. Crazy Candace, Jew, Israel. Um, yeah. So somebody, I guess, is trying to gloat against Candace Owens. Now I'm gonna play some of this video that she has here
really quickly, just to give a couple of thoughts. You used to be able to just do a video on YouTube, but now I kind of think that you have to host a space. Anyways, obviously, I'm doing this because my account just got suspended on YouTube, and I shared with you guys exactly how it happened, which was, prior to today, I had nothing on my account other than the day that account Awesome Jew began publishing a step-by-step guide for how people could mass report my Tristan Tate interview when my Tristan Tate interview aired. And YouTube actually responded on Twitter and said that these sort of targeted harassment campaigns wouldn't work. And then lo and behold, they quite literally took down that video, and we then filed an appeal, and we haven't actually heard back on that appeal. But I kind of put it in the back of my mind. And interestingly enough, like, it's kind of been a journey with this, and I did kind of expect this to happen, especially after the Rabbi Shmuley debate. I knew there would be some price that I had to pay for it, because you just can't have a video or a debate go that viral. And I could just see how angry the Zionist community was about it. And you could sense their anger also in their silence, which is so interesting just to weigh against. 2 weeks ago, every Zionist account on social media, every Zionist media member was writing articles hysterically from here to Australia saying, Candace Owens is having a mental breakdown, Candace Owens is unhinged, Candace Owens is angry, writing lies about me. And yet, absolute crickets. If you go online right now and you type in like Rabbi Shmuley, Candace Owens, despite the fact that it was trending for 2.5 days on Twitter, not a single article was written which was negative about Rabbi Shmuley. And it sort of has been like a build with, like, throughout, I would say, the last year, really almost exactly a year. I think sort of post October 7th, for better or worse, things have changed. We're not going back to the place, the America, the conservative, the Republican movement, whatever you want to call it, that we were prior to October 7th. And I think it caused a lot of people to see the world through a different lens, and to see a lot of people who they had trusted and who they thought were morally consistent not live up to that expectation. And so I knew, like, when the first kind of harassment campaign came, and it was essentially like, this is what your opinion has to be on this situation, and I didn't bite on that. I knew what the consequence was going to be. Obviously, everybody saw the writing on the wall. It was like, we will come for your job and you will no longer have the platform that you do. But I really did have the confidence, like when all of that happened this year, like I knew that I would be fine because I very much believe in myself. And I think that that kind of comes from, I think the public trusts me. We've been through enough together with, the media spells, whether
Facts.
it's Black Lives Matter and me taking an opinion that was not mainstreamed, COVID, me taking an opinion that was not mainstreamed, all with the exact same name calling, the exact same harassment, the exact same people pretending that I was too stupid to be able to have an opinion about these matters. She's not a doctor, she's not an expert. How dare she say this? Fine. And we've gotten through those things and I've been on the right side of it. And so there's just been just a very long history between me and the people that follow me. And like I said, some earned trust. And so when things throughout at the beginning of this year, obviously stepping out on my own, I did feel that like very confident that I could rebuild my audience because like I said, like I am the Candace show. It's just me talking to you guys. And obviously I think for the people like Rabbi Shmuley who were a part of that harassment campaign, like demanding that I lose my job, it was something that made them very angry to see that that didn't take me out. And to the exact contrary, my show has never been bigger. My show has never been more successful. I've never had more daily views. And that doesn't really work for them. And so they were not going to let up. And I knew that that was going to happen because I think part of this sort of psychological terrorism is essentially you can only have a platform if we say you can. You can only have a platform if we're writing nice articles about you. You can only have a platform if we say that you're intelligent. You can only have a platform if we're willing to host you on our shows. And then you have people that are proving time and time again that that actually isn't a reality. And unfortunately, the people that we're dealing with don't have any other strategies. Like this is what they've been doing for so long to great success, whether it's, again, calling somebody stupid, calling their opinions illegitimate because they're not experts, so you can't talk about vaccines. In the past, that's proven so successful, but we live in a different world post-COVID where the belief in the establishment has completely crumbled. And people are now really following the individuals that were willing to sort of buck those trends and say, hey, wait a second, like maybe let's not get the vaccine. Like, hey, maybe Black Lives Matter isn't telling you the truth. And maybe Zionism has become exceedingly radical. Their name, the name of the account is Awesome Jew. And then people will say, well, who did this? Who organized this account? The person is taking credit. They're quite literally saying, this harassment campaign is brought to you by Awesome Jews. That's literally the name of the account that orchestrated this harassment campaign and put a step-by-step guide. I knew that we had arrived at the final point because they had gone so vicious in trying to take my job, trying to assassinate my character, and yet the results were in. My followers are still listening to my show. My show is still big. So what is the next natural thing? Well, you're going to have to artificially impact the markets, right? You're going, actually, I don't believe in a free market. And if the smearing doesn't work, if the libeling doesn't work, if the harassment campaign doesn't work, then we're going to have to get her deplatformed. And that's what you're seeing. This is it's a pattern really with Zionists, I would say. I mean, this is the sort of stuff when you see that Ari Emanuel writes a letter and says no one should work for Kanye anymore. What is that really? What is that? Shouldn't we be able to decide whether or not we want to buy his shoes? And you could say, listen, I'm not, Adidas has a right to fire whoever they want to, Gap has a right to fire whoever they want to. But when all of that comes on the heels of one person writing a letter, these are the kinds of questions that I think we have a right to start asking. And when somebody openly says, like, this account, we're going to harass her so she has no platform and she can't make any money, what they're saying is we believe in financial terrorism as a strategy. And that's what this is. Make no mistake. It's financial terrorism as a strategy to get someone to kowtow to your narrative.
Guys, definitely ugly stuff. Really ugly. So I definitely feel bad for Candace Owens. Obviously, she's a woman with a lot of power and influence herself. So I don't really think that this is going to hold her back much. But it's still another obstacle that she should not be having to overcome. She should not have to jump through these hoops of fire just to be critical of I guess at this point, protected class of people, because this is clearly coming across not as a class of people, but a protected class, and a class that could get very brutal in their tactics to take someone down that they feel like is against them. Now, do I think that stuff like this is helping them? I mean, in the sense of maybe instilling fear in some others to post negative videos and commentary about them. I mean, it's not stopping me from posting this video, but at the same time, I'd really think that it's doing a lot more harm than good, because a lot of people see this as just bullying, or in the case of what Candace just said, they're committing financial terrorism against her. Like, yeah, we're gonna ruin you. Rabbi Shmuley had previously said that he wished financial ruin upon Candace Owens. There's probably others who've said the same. So this is just kind of one of those things where it's sad that it's gotten this ugly. I don't think that you need to be so ugly to someone just because you disagree with their views. And especially, like, there's no, you get to say what you're gonna say, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say, and then just leave it at that. But no, it turns into like, hey, let's get this person deplatformed. Let's get them fired from the Daily Wire. Let's make sure they can't make money off their own channel. It's definitely gone too far. It went too far a long time ago, and it's still continuing to go too far. And I really think that, unfortunately, a lot of these hardcore radicals in the Zionist and in the, kind of hardcore online, public facing, powerful position folks, I think that these folks are really creating more enemies who are going to be emboldened and wishing to go against them than they are allies, because they're just the ones who are putting themselves in the position to be the bullies. Like, none of the Jewish folks are getting deplatformed and having negative articles written about them and getting smeared. Candace Owens is the only one. It's like she can talk bad about every other group using facts that she wants to, including black folks. But then the second she says something about Gaza and genocide and, Zionist terrorism and stuff like that, oh, no, you can't have that. I mean, since when have you seen the good guys ever be the ones who strongly advocate for deplatforming opposing views? I'll leave it at that. Let me know what you guys think. Drop a like on the video. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. I appreciate y'all watching the Black Anomaly Rising channel. I'm out.
People can see and hear evil, and what you are doing right now is an act of evil.